Hey, it's John at Tinderbox Arts. So this is a review of the Speed and Strength Havoc motorcycle jean, and a couple of stories I want to share with you about how I came about getting these. Now, these are my old jeans from Speed and Strength. These were called Critical Mass, and I love these things, and I ended up buying them at the end of their life in the sense that they discontinued the line. And I was really upset because I really love these things. And for once, I found something in my size, which is a small size, and it's really hard to find. So these things fit like a glove, and I really like them. They have the aramid or the Kevlar lining, which is important for a motorcycle jean. Now, for me, generally speaking, I wear an overpant over whatever I have on. So I would put these motorcycle jeans on, which have some protection from the Kevlar, and they would also have, the knee protection. And then I would wear an overpant over that. So I had plenty of protection. Occasionally I'd wear them, just plain, but generally with an overpant. So one of the things I loved about these was the stretchy material, which I'll show you in a second. Initially, actually my son turned me on to this initially because he had a pair. And the stretchy thing seemed like kind of a gimmick, like I really didn't need that. And I would wear regular jeans under my overpants previously. But once you try it, oh my God, they are so much more comfortable, especially for longer rides where, just having, fabric dig into your legs or your crotch or wherever became uncomfortable when you're sitting on a bike for, 4, 5, 6 hours. So these stretchy jeans made a huge difference in comfort, and I was totally sold on the idea. So these Critical Mass jeans fit me great. They were very comfortable. They had the protection. The only downside really was where the knee armor was placed just didn't work for me. It just wasn't placed well, and it really wasn't adjustable. So I ended up taking that out, and because I had the overpant anyway, it didn't matter. But that was the only downside. But otherwise, I really love these things. So I was eager to get another pair, and I was really disappointed when I found out they were discontinued. So I went back to Speed and Strength and their website and everything, and they really didn't have a replacement. And just at the end of 2019, and I think meant for the 2020 riding season, they introduced this new pant. So this is, again, Speed and Strength, and it's known as the Havoc jean. And I looked at it on their website, and it was not what I was looking for. It didn't say anything about stretchy material, but I ended up doing some investigation and found out later that they just really weren't marketing it very well. It is stretchy material. I will go into some detail here, and I'll get you some close-ups, but just to give you an overview here, this material, I'm trying to find a good spot to show you. This material is quite stretchy, all right? And it is a jean material, a denim, but it's got, I don't know what kind of material added to it that makes it stretchy. But it makes quite a difference, like I said, in comfort. Here's the bottom. I'm already getting this dirty. Here's the bottom, and you can see it stretches quite a bit. Now, the other things you're going to find on this are the Kevlar fiber inside here. Now, there's basically the outside fabric. There's a lining just for comfort, and between those two is the Kevlar or the aramid fiber. It also comes with knee armor, and when I tried these on, they have changed the position of the knee armor, and at least in my size here, it does fit correctly for me now, so that's great. So that was a big plus. So now I can use that knee armor. Now, we'll take a look at the quality of that knee armor in a second. It also has all sorts of pockets. So it has a pocket here for your hand, but also a zippered pocket on the side here. And this is a separate pocket from the inside. It's separated on the internally there. They take care with a lot of the details. I mean, it has nice solid belt loops. And if you notice on the back, there's a double belt loop here, which is great. The pockets in the rear are positioned somewhat low, but I think that's intentional because if you're on a bike and you want to keep something in those pockets, some coins or whatever, you can reach in and actually get it while you're sitting on the bike. On the inside, turn this around there is an area for armor right here. It does not include it, but it has a little pocket there for some side armor. And the same on the other side here, okay? So for your hips, If you go down, that might be an area where you want to add some armor, but it is not included. And the Kevlar fiber goes down quite a bit as far as length. Now the knees are a little bit different than the old jeans that I had were just straight material. These have some gussets here which help with the bending of the knee, and it's also for style. Now, I'm going to tell you about one difference between the two in a second that's really important, but let me try to get some a close-up here and some more detail. Now, as far as color, these come in black or charcoal as of now. Maybe that'll change in the future, but right now, that's the only thing you can get, and I got black. And they look good. I mean, I don't really have any complaints about the color. Now, it's hard to see online sometimes the sizing, so I just wanted to point out, the size of my hand here in relation to the pockets. There's a fairly good, size zipper here, and these side pockets, there's enough to get your hand in there without too much trouble if you're on the bike. And just to point you in the direction of the knees here, these didn't come dirty. These are me getting them dirty already. But you see the gusseting here, the stitching here on the knees, which allows the knee to bend a little bit more easier when you're on the bike. Now this is a really important point I want to make. On the left are the old jeans that I like so much. And if you see the bottom here, the cuff, it's about 7 inches. Now again, it is the smallest size they make, a 30 by 30. So, larger sizes may have a larger cuff as well, but I'm just pointing out it was about 7 inches. And the new pants here, the Havoc jean, you can see it's closer to 6 inches, a little over 6.25 we'll call it. So, if you are a professional speed skater and you have legs like tree trunks, this is probably not the jean for you. Now it is stretchy, and the old ones I had no trouble getting over my boots. This one, I'm looking at, and it is stretchy, so I probably will be able to get it over the boots, but, it's going to be more of a struggle. These are really skinny jeans. So if you have big legs, this is probably not the jean for you. For me, again, because I'm wearing overpant, generally speaking, over these, it may even be seen as a plus because it's just, extra fabric that I don't really need. All right, I've turned this inside out here, one of the legs, all right? So you can see the construction. It's pretty well made. The stitching, it's quite well done. It's reinforced very well. This is the pocket on the side for the hip armor if you choose to buy that separately. And you have the Kevlar or aramid fiber in between the liner and the denim. Coming down the leg here, this is where the armor for the knee sits in. I'll take that out in a second. Now there is no adjustment for that armor, so it sits where it sits. But like I said, for me anyway, they seem to have gotten it right versus the last one, which didn't really fit very well. And then the bottom, there is no protection on the very bottom here. That's just up to your boots, I guess, to offer your protection for that. All right, I've taken the armor out here. It's made by Knox. It's fairly thin, and it is flexible to a degree. I mean, it does feel a little stiff on your knee, but it's not awful. So for what it's worth, they give you that. You could take it out if you don't want it. So the tags are still on this, as you see, but I left them on just so you know they're new. But I did try them on and walk around with them. Fit is excellent, just like it was, except for the idea that these are skinny legs. So like I said, if you got big tree trunk legs, these are not for you. Price, I spent about $150 on these, which is more than I spent on the older ones, but it is what it is. As motorcycle jeans go, that's about, what the market is these days. All right, so what's the summary? For $150, they're reasonably priced as far as the rest of the market. And so I guess I can't complain too much about that. They're well constructed. I don't have any issue with that. You can see all the seams are well reinforced. You got the extra lining, which is great. And of course you have the Kevlar, the aramid material. Pockets for hip protection, and you get the knee protection with it. So all that is great. As far as the fit, if you've got big legs, you're a big guy, this is probably not the jean for you. It is a skinny jean, so you got to understand that. But if you're fairly medium in your build or you're a skinny build, you're not going to have any problem as far as fitting into them. The cuffs will go over your boot with a little bit of stretch, or they can go inside your boot if you prefer that as well. So it's a little bit flexible because it has that stretch to the material. So I'm pleased with the purchase. I would have still preferred the old one, honestly, only because it has a little bit bigger leg. But all things considered, I'm not going to complain too much. You have limited color to the black and the charcoal. But other than that, I think it's a pretty good buy. And there is one competitor to Speed and Strength that offers something similar. I've also tried those on. They're okay too. I don't really have, they're very similar, honestly. But and the price is about the same too. But I've been very pleased with these. I've never gone down on them, so I can't, vouch for how well they're going to actually work in an accident. But compared to what I see on the rest of the market, I think it's a pretty good deal, and I do recommend them.